The Republic of South Korea, top 3 delinquency high schools. Gun High Tech swept Incheon like the Mongolian armies in the past. The Hanin Info Tech High School is the one that reports on Korean Americans in Seoul. And the worst of all, Kangsan High School. Every year, a gang of bikers that have been around for generations go around and gain notoriety across the country. Their deeds seem weird even among delinquents. They are considered one of the tops in Kangsan High. The percentage of students smoking are over 90%. The number of violent incidents caused by them alone reaches hundreds each year. The worst of 21st century, the den of devil. But not long ago, something strange happened in this den of evil. Kangsan High, the worst of all in the entire country, was devoured by a first-year girl. Back again on this channel. How are you all? I hope you are all well. In this video, we will recap a webtoon or manhwa or whatever it is called. This webtoon is new because it only has 7 chapters. A little synopsis of this webtoon is the number 1 school in the country, Kangsan High School, Goo Se Ra, has a crush on Lee Seo Jun, who comes to Kangsan High School for teaching. She experiences all sorts of hardships with problem students. In order to protect her crush, Goo Se Ra decides to turn the worst problem school into a model school. The genre of this webtoon is of course action, drama, and school life. This webtoon was released in 2024 and has ongoing status. If you are curious about the story, please watch this video until the end. Don't forget to subscribe. One day, Dosong High and Kangsan High got into a brawl. Dosong High was pretty new to this whole school fight scene, but Kangsan High? They were straight up infamous, the roughest crew in Seoul. Baek Jun-soo, a first year and ranked number 2 at Kangsan, was ready to throw hands. Just as things were about to pop off, a girl showed up out of nowhere. Dosong High started laughing at her, thinking she was just some random chick. But Jun-soo? Oh, you could see it in his eyes, he was low-key freaked out. That girl? None other than Goo Se Ra, Kangsan High's undefeated number 1, an absolute legend. Jun-soo knew exactly what kind of smoke she brought, and he was not ready for it. Meanwhile, Dosong High had no clue and totally underestimated her. The second Doseong's loudmouth made a move, Se Ra sent him flying with one punch. Everyone was shook. Dosong High, still clueless, rushed at her all at once. Se Ra? Cool as ice. She stopped their best shot. With her forehead. Yeah, you read that right, her forehead. Then, she casually decked another dude, and boom, he went flying too. The poor guy just sat there in shock, like, wait, is this girl even human? So, how strong is Goo Se Ra? Is she really unbeatable? If you're dying to find out, keep watching. You don't want to miss this. Jun-soo could only be silent with Goo Se Ra's presence. If she came, their coming would have gone to waste. She finished off Dosong School alone. The notorious Kangsan High across the country, there was one reason why they were devoured by a single girl. That girl was Goo Se Ra. The Kangsan students cheered because they had won the fight. Jun-soo then embraced her, while the students cheered for her. Meanwhile, Kang Jisoo is a first-year Kangsan school student came to witness the fight. Goo Se Ra with her scary face, told Jun-soo to let go his hand. Quickly, he let go his hand. Stop with the bullshit and start the engines. We're going to school. On the way, one of the Kangsan students thought that he could beat Goo Se Ra. His other friend said, damn, you see her as a woman? Didn't you see her fight earlier? But this idiot still thought that he could beat her. The other friend said again, if you don't want to die, wake up, idiots. Are you interested in something as trivial as love with that kind of monster in the first place? 6 years ago, Goo Se Ra was 10 years old. Have 6 years passed already? Lee Seo Jun, first-year university student, her first love. When she was a little, her family used to run a boarding house. At that time, her first love, a university student, lived alone with them in their house. Why did she fall in love with him? Because he was handsome. So fucking handsome. Even his voice is so cool. At first, she fell for his face, but after some time, she fell for his kindness too. She wished that those happy times would go on forever. However, Seo Jun went to the army. Their breakup came without a warning. He suddenly enlisted in the military. And like that, her first love was stolen from her by her country. Back to the present. When they arrived at Kangsan School, you can see what the students are doing. One of the students is fighting. Not long after, Goo Se Ra enters the classroom. And suddenly, all the students are silent and afraid of her. She will fall asleep during class. Not long after that, two people enter the classroom. They have a new teacher at their school. The new teacher will be doing his teaching internship at Kangsan High School starting today. The boys are not happy with the presence of this new teacher. Then the new teacher takes attendance one by one so that he is familiar with his students. The last name called is Goo Se Ra. She is still asleep, and no one dares to wake her up. She wakes up and sees the new teacher. At first, she does not recognize the teacher in front of her. It doesn't take long, Se Ra recognizes him. He is her first love, Lee Seo Jun. Se Ra is surprised. Why is he at her school? He went into the military, so why did he appear here? Seo Jun could only apologize to Se Ra for suddenly appearing after disappearing. Suddenly one of the students who didn't know anything appeared from behind him. The student immediately pulled Seo Jun's collar and threw him. The other students who saw it were happy because there would be a fight between the teacher and the student. Seo Jun, who didn't know anything about Kangsan School, was surprised by the behavior of his students. He tried to calm the student who bullied him. Before he could finish his words, the student pulled Seo Jun's hair roughly. This student didn't know at all who he was dealing with. Before the student finished him, suddenly someone pulled his hair. He was confused. What happened to the student? The person pulling the hair was none other than Goo Se Ra. With a very burning anger, the student looked very hurt. What the hell do you think you are doing to our teacher? Their school is a school of gangsters. In that place where problematic kids are gathered, this is her story from her school days where she spent her life trying to protect her first love from everyone. Maybe that's all for this video. Sorry for the inconvenience of the video because the editing is not good. Thank you also for watching this video. See you and don't forget to subscribe.